All right, everyone, it's Bulletproof Monday special time if you're here live because it is President's Day in the United States. And I know in parts of Canada it was a holiday too. And wherever you are in the world joining in, I am so happy you're here. My name is Susan Sly, and I specialize in marketing and helping solopreneurs and small business owners scale their businesses and grow. And generally speaking, I do these a little earlier in the day, but in honor of the holiday, I'm here in the evening, which is super cool. If you're in Australia, you're watching me live, good morning to you. So with that, if you are on YouTube or you're listening on iTunes, I do Bulletproof Monday every Monday. If you have an idea for a show, go ahead, go to www.susansly.com. I have a chat bot on there. You can send your ideas to me. I would love to hear them. And if this show is great, I would encourage you to share it into a group, share it onto a page. I would love for you to share it. So with that, we're going to talk about branding essentials today. And the question is, to brand or not to brand, right? I don't think Shakespeare was thinking about that back in the day when he wrote to be or not to be. But the reality is we are living in a branding era where even little kids are branding themselves on YouTube. And two of my kids want to be professional YouTubers. And there's so much money to be made out there if you really understand the basics of building a brand. And you might be thinking, well, Susan, do I really need to build a brand? And it doesn't matter what kind of business that you're in right now, you do need to have a brand. And it's interesting because a friend of mine today was going for a job interview and as a CFO of a company, and this person doesn't do social media, doesn't even have an updated LinkedIn profile. And I'm like, buddy, you need to at least have that, because in the quote unquote real world of business, people are going to check you out on social media. They're going to look and see if you're a professional. They're going to see if you at least have a LinkedIn profile, and social media is your brand. They're going to look and see if you have a website. They're going to check you out before they decide to do business with you. And here is the startling statistic: 78% of people are going to look at your social media before they decide to buy your product or service. 78%. And I know some of you are like, oh my gosh, Susan, yeah, it's time to take away those photos of you doing beer pong or whatever's on your social media, because people are looking at those. So let's take a look at some of the things that, happen when we're contemplating brand building. So when people are thinking, do I build a brand? Do I not build a brand? There's this misconception out there that you need to spend $15,000 and, then pay an agency like $10,000 a month. You don't need to do that. And in fact, in this training, in this Bulletproof Money, I'm going to share with you 8 branding essentials, things you can do right now to take your brand to the next level. And you might be wondering, Susan, what do you really know about this? Well, I'll tell you, I was building an online brand back in 1995. Now my brand has shifted and pivoted a lot, and as it should, all brands must evolve or die. However, in terms of things like optimization and reach and things like that, I've been doing this for a long time, and my goal is to really teach new people how to do the same things and to be able to capitalize and monetize their businesses. So with that, I want to get into some of these brand essentials. And on Mondays, on Bulletproof Monday, I always make notes for you guys. So one of the things is, what is a brand? And a brand is really about the following 3 things. So number 1, it's about the value a person is receiving. And if you're a subscriber to my list on susansly.com, I'll send you these notes. Don't worry about it. So what value is a person going to receive from interacting with you? So it doesn't matter what kind of business you're in. Maybe you're in tech, maybe you're a CPA, maybe you're in direct sales, but what kind of value is a person going to receive by working with you specifically? Number 2 is around certainty. People do business with people who give them certainty. Now, how do you create certainty? You are your word, you're full of integrity, you deliver on what you promise. So as an example, in my Organize Your Life programs, I always say you're either going to make the same money you invested or find the same money you invested, which is usually around $497, or I'll give you your money back. And so that's, that's that value proposition, that certainty. So people know, hey, if I take one of Susan's classes, if I don't find or make that money, she's going to give it back to me. And I do. And yeah, I've never had to refund it because people always find that much money. Like literally they're cleaning up paperwork and stuff, or they get a new client or whatever. And they're like, oh my gosh, so that, that's that certainty, right? Number 3 is the emotion that is associated with doing business with you. That is also your brand. So when you think about it, some people you might follow because they're funny, they're gonna make you laugh, right? That's part of their brand. I don't know why Kevin Hart just came to mind, but Kevin Hart as an example. Some people, their brand is a little more uplifting. When you think of someone like, say, a Joel Osteen or Wayne Dyer while he was still alive, just this association that if I listen to Wayne, I listen to Joel, they're going to make me feel a certain way. And it's that brand association, those emotions. And so as you really begin to think about that, it's not like you need to have this whole branded, beautiful website. You can start to really elicit emotions and create value and certainty just in the posts you're doing, how you interact with people. That is all the beginning of your brand. You think of some great brand examples for big companies. A big company that creates a winning brand is a company where the brand lasts even if the CEO goes or the company owner passes. And you think like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Ford is still going, Chevy, like all these brands that are decades and decades and decades old. It's amazing that even after the founders are long gone, the brand still keeps going. And that's the makings of an amazing, amazing company. And very few people can create a company that goes for generations and generations, let alone years, right? When you think about modern day influencers and you think about different people like Jennifer Lopez, I mean, she's an actor, she is a singer, she has her perfume line, she has a very sick Instagram profile, she looks amazing. She's building an incredible brand, and so much so that when she decides to do a project like whether it's a concert or a new perfume, because she's so strong with her brand, automatically it begins to generate revenue. And another example of that would be like the Kardashians, and like them or not, they're super smart in their branding. I also mentioned Joel Osteen is another great brand builder. And to be a celebrity in Hollywood now, it doesn't mean you have to be a great actor. In fact, some of the best actors are not the most well-paid actors, but in Hollywood, there's something called a Q score. And that Q score is really around your popularity, and people with the most popularity are the ones that make the most money, right? So it's just starting to think like that. And again, regardless of the industry or the business that you're in, your brand is going to be essential, because that's going to be what sets you apart and helps a person determine if they're going to work with you or not, regardless of what it is that you do. So let's talk about some of the levels of brands, and then we're going to get into some essentials for you that you can begin to implement right now. So I really feel there are 3 levels of branding. And the first one is beginner. And the beginner might be you have a Facebook personal page, you have a Twitter account, you have a LinkedIn account, you have Instagram. You're not hiring an agency to do it. You're kind of doing it all yourself. And you're that person who is so willing to learn. And it's so important at this level that you know how to edit your own photos. You can use tools like PicMonkey is just a simple one. Facetune on your phone is another one. You know how to really interact with the people interacting with you. You're very committed. You have a schedule of posting. You know the kind of person that you really want to engage with. You're perhaps involved in some groups, that kind of thing. And that's how you're really getting that message out. And when people think of you, they have these, certain characteristics they would attribute to you specifically. So you're a beginner. That's what you're doing. The next level is that you're an intermediate. Now you're starting to gain gain some traction. You probably at this point would have a Facebook business page. You might have a premium profile on LinkedIn. You're probably still doing a lot of your own posting and that kind of thing. However, you might have an assistant at this point. You might be using some third-party posting apps. You might also be doing some outsourcing, perhaps using tools like Fiverr as an example to get some additional things built for you. You might start to have a brand logo, that kind of thing. And then the next level is the influencer level. That's when you start to generate revenue online. You have other people giving you shout outs. You're doing a lot of brand engagement. At this point, you might even have some offers. Hey, if you wear my clothes, you get some clothes for free. If you wear my clothes and do a post on Instagram, that kind of thing. So that influencer level, you have thousands and thousands and thousands of followers. You can easily monetize online. And it doesn't matter if you are in your teens. I love young people. I love Generation Z. I always, talk about Gen Z. These are people who are right now around 22 or younger. Gen Z are phenomenal. I heard about this young man who's actually teaching a day trading masterclass, and he's making, I believe, $10 million a year doing it. I mean, congratulations to him. I mean, he's obviously abundant. He knows what to do. Another person, one of my daughter's friends, he wanted to make money. He is a digital marketer, and one night he did a post on Instagram. Hey, I'll take the next number of people to do a free, a paid one-on-one mentoring session. It was like $200 and he made like $8,000 in 2 hours and, shut that down. And, there he went. So these people who are influencers, they understand how to build lists, how to engage, how to interact, and how to monetize. And again, it doesn't matter if you're Gen Z, if you're a millennial. I love millennials too. Oh my gosh. Gen X, that's my generation. We're hustling, we're grinding. We've got kids, we've got aging parents. It's so stressful, and we haven't met an Oregon Pinot Noir we don't love, because of it. Then there's the generation above us, the boomers, and there are amazing influencers there too. And then there are the influencers like my friend Harvey McKay. He's in his 80s. He's got a whole team doing it for him. He's an online influencer. So again, it doesn't matter what age you're at, building your brand, building yourself up as an influencer in your space, whether you're an accountant, a chiropractor, an attorney, a direct seller, a stay-at-home mom who loves to bake, whatever it is you do, you absolutely can do it. And before I get into these 8 key things, just so you know, at the top of the hour, if you're watching this live, or you can still opt in if you see the recording, on susansmasterclass.com, if you opt in, if you want to see it live at the top of the hour, so in approximately 16 minutes, I'm going to take you through the 13 steps, all my insider secrets of how I use masterclasses to generate revenue. So I'm going to share with you those tips. So you can go to susansmasterclass.com and you can opt in. I know some of you probably already are, and you can share that link. And if you see this after and you opt in, I'll still send you the recording of that. So check it out. I have been working on it all day and I'm so fired up. I am not holding back. I'm telling you all the stuff I do. So check that out. All right, let's get into these branding essentials. So the first thing, and again, if you go to my list, susansly.com, you sign up, I will send you these notes. The first thing is just really having a professional photo. The days of you posting the blurry photo, unless it's something epic, like you have your photo with I don't know, J-Lo, and it's a little blurry, that's okay. But the reality is that, especially in the era of Instagram, you've got to have photos that look really, really good. It doesn't mean you have to have a professional photographer. I do have a professional photographer, Tony Taft, at my 4-day online business building event, only 4 days. It's on only4days.com. People doing the VIP package get to have a photo pack done with Tony. He's incredible, but you can have a friend take some great photos of you on your iPhone, your Android. Always be facing light, especially if you're my generation generation, you want to have a lot of light. It makes you look really good. And try and have just a plain white background. So those always look really good when you're posting them online. So always get some professional photos done. It's good when you're building a brand every 12 weeks to update your photos. If you'll notice when I'm posting photos, changing my photos, it's like, oh, there's a fresh crop of photos. Tony and I have it dialed in. I'll do 9 looks in 45 minutes. And usually they're just from the waist up. So I just, have jeans on at the bottom, and, we were playing like 80s hip hop or, whatever we're playing. And I'm just like changing a top, doing looks, changing tops, put my hair up, hair down, that kind of thing. But you don't have to have a photographer. You can do a photo sesh and just order a white background from Amazon. Totally cool. All right. Second is your social media. So your social media must be brand aligned. And we are so far out of the days where you can be one way in certain circumstances and another way in others. So if you're a person who portrays yourself as, just a good, clean, wholesome image, but you're dropping like nasty words, people catch stuff on camera, video, audio. No, you have to be consistent. That's why Gary Vee, who's building a great brand, he swears all the time, and it's just what he does. So no one can say, well, he doesn't swear. That's who he is, right? And we're in this beautiful era of transparency where you just have to be as you are. That's the bottom line. So if I show up on a Bulletproof Monday and I have a pimple, one of the first things I'm like, hey guys, I have a pimple. Oh, well, it's just me. That's what you get. I don't have a team of stylists putting all this together. This was what I got put together with my daughter having a play date and my son being at ACT practice and, kids being off school today. It is what it is, right? But that's my brand image. It's who I am. And that's the thing for you. So with your social media, whatever it is you're doing, just be consistent. You can't be like, oh, I love Jesus, and then that night you're doing tequila shots on the bar with your shirt off. You can't do that. So just figure out and just be you. I'm a big believer like this right now. If you're a believer in that too, just be you, just be who you are. Don't try and be anyone else just because you think it's going to be better for business. People will eventually find out. That's the bottom line. The third thing is really this consistent message. So social media, then it's the consistency is number 3. Being consistent in terms of what it is you're putting out there. I see a lot of people, and it's good to try different things, but let's say if they're in the health world, they're like, oh, I'm just gonna, post all about a certain product. Okay, then now I'm posting all about keto. Now I'm posting all about paleo. Now I'm posting, okay, you're still posting around diets, but you're confusing me. And if you're confused, you're confusing people too. And, to be very transparent, and thank you all for your kudos, because on Bulletproof Monday, I'll just tell you anything. It doesn't matter. So many of you have said, Susan, thank you for just being honest. I've made that mistake myself. And that's why I'm saying that, and even now, this year in particular, I'm really tightening up my brand. So I'm swimming in my lane, so to speak. So I'm very focused only on areas that make sense for my brand. So I own the trademark Organize Your Life. So I teach things in the Organize Your Life genre. And when I'm teaching business or I'm teaching sales copy, it's all under the Organize Your Life brand. Does that make sense, right? So I'm not posting pictures of me in a total mess unless I'm cleaning it up, because that's all around that brand. When I'm training on master classes, I make money teaching the Organize Your Life brand, and I lead people to that through master classes. So I'm teaching around master classes, digital marketing strategies, that kind of thing. So just, really think about it and figure that out. What is that consistent message that you're going to put out? And then really the 4th step is offer incredible free value. So I do Bulletproof Monday for free. I have a podcast, tips on social media, my blog, custom LinkedIn posts. So I do about 90% of my content every single week is free. If not 99%, it's a lot. But if you want to build a brand, you've got to give a ton of free content across all the platforms. Number 5 is credibility. So, if you're really bad with money, don't offer course teaching about money. The world, and I'm going to say this with such love, doesn't need more broke prosperity trainers at all. They don't. Teach according to what you are certified to do, what you are credible in, what you've been successful in. You know, when I teach my masterclass, how to make money doing masterclasses, I've been doing that for over 10 years. So I can teach from a place that I've actually had success in. If I was going to do an online course in triathlon training, I was a pro triathlete at one time. Yes, I could physically do that. Could I teach a course on how to raise an autistic child successfully? Yes, because I have done that too, right? So really think about it. If you are masterful at, you know, baking or making keto goodies or, you know, relationships or whatever it is. There's a gal I know, she wants to do a master class in finding your soulmate after divorce in your 40s. It's a very specific niche, but she has found her soulmate after divorce in her 40s. Is she credible? Yes, right? So really think about that. You know, I think very deeply there are lots of people out there teaching things that they're not certified to teach, or they haven't had that success. You all have greatness in you. You've all done some amazing things. And if you're going to put yourself out there in your brand and you're going to monetize it, talk about something that you've achieved. And there's a little formula. What people want to know is, what was your problem? How can I relate to that problem? What did you do to transcend it? And what is the formula that I can follow to transcend? And if you can do that, you can absolutely build a beautiful brand. You can. The next thing, number 6, is social proof. What is your social proof? Do you have testimonials? And again, even if if my friend Laura, who I know is here, let's say Laura has coached someone to releasing 10 pounds, then she needs to get that testimonial. She needs to put it out on social media. Something like, I helped my friend Ginny release 10 pounds, or Ginny writes, thank you, Laura, for helping me release 10 pounds. Having testimonials of your work, you can never have enough. It's that social proof, that validity that what you're teaching on and what you're training on is actually working. All right. Number 7 is being organized. I can't be me without talking about organization. If you're building a brand, you have to be organized. This isn't playtime. It is work. Oh my gosh. So on weekends, I will write my blog. I'll prepare a mailer for my list. I'll create the theme of the week. What is the theme? This week, the theme is master classes and branding yourself. Then, I'll take the notes. I'll create the notes. I'll send them to the list. It's all of it. And really deploying that. And then we take this Bulletproof Monday, which is fun for me, and I love to do it, and just give and serve. And then we turn it into a podcast. We turn it into a YouTube video. It's just like constant wash, rinse, repeat, repurpose the content. But every week I'm creating unique content, and it isn't always easy because just like all of you, I have life going on, right? But you just keep doing it, keep doing it. And then the 8th thing about branding essentials is trying new things. It might be daunting to do a weekly branded Facebook Live. It might be daunting to do a podcast. It might be daunting to put out 1-minute videos of yourself or whatever it is. I'm right now, here's my confession, I'm playing with all these little video platforms. So I'm playing with Promo, InShot, Rev.com, and these are things I'm playing with. Now my team knows how to make the professional videos, but I like to just make these 1-minute videos on the fly. Like tomorrow, I'm flying to Nashville. I'm going to be there. I get back on Friday night, and then I'm home Saturday, and then I head to San Diego for Traffic and Conversion. I'm going to be speaking there on Tuesday. It's the largest digital marketing conference in America. So I'll be making 1-minute videos all along, and I'm playing. Now, are some of the videos. If you look on this fan page, or if you're listening on iTunes or whatever, it's Students Fly Live on Facebook, you can see I made a video with a guy in a tutu. I made that. I made the roller coaster video. So I made some different fun videos, but I'm trying new things. And one of the things I would encourage you to do is, when you're building your brand, is just have this childlike countenance. Just pick one thing every day where you can just play and have fun, and it's not too serious. And if you put out a video and all the closed captioning wasn't perfect, like, whatever, it just happens. So hopefully you've gotten some great tips with this branding essentials. And if you haven't registered for my masterclass, just go to www right now, go here right now, susansmasterclass.com. And again, even if you can't be on live, if you like this training, I'm going to give you 13 tangibles, not just hypotheticals, like tangibles. I'm going to tell you where I do my research, what survey tools, like I'm going to tell you all of it on susansmasterclass.com, and invite your friends. It's going to be awesome. That is starting in literally 4 minutes if you're here live. So if you're not here live, you can still register, and I'll send you the recordings and you can register for it. So with that, go ahead and go out there, scale your brand. I read all of the comments. I interact with you. It might not be within the same second. I read all of your comments. I watch your questions. So go ahead and post your comment. Again, if this video has been helpful, go ahead and share it. And, you know, my final message to you, I'll say to you guys the same thing I say to my kids every single night, and that is, you have greatness inside you. You can truly be, do, and have anything you dream. You're a winner. So go out there and go for it. And I will see you next Monday live from San Diego. Bye, everyone.